Hello and welcome to
Hi,
EFAP
everyone.
Superchat Catchup for episode 340, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Oh, dun dun dun. Dun. Never gonna be other than again on a horrible note. That's
Final
fine though.
reckoning.
We're here to talk about the messages you guys sent in and check them out. You know how it goes. So let's get started. Beginning with farewell and adieu to you fair Flemish massives. Farewell and adieu to you massives of Fleam. Farewell indeed. Impossible.
Farewell.
Also, this is sad news. Trongos went out of business. Yeah, they
that's
just
a shame.
permanently closed.
Oh,
Never
that
got
is
to
a
go
shame.
there. We're gonna do it. At
We
some
gotta.
point.
I guess we'll have to find a new spot for the 10-year anniversary IRL meetup.
We'll go somewhere and just put up a sign that says Trongos in honor. You know, wherever we go, that's where Trongos is. See, Trongos is not a place.
Trongos isn't a place; it's a people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure did feel like a 2-hour, 49-minute movie. Lost me from the beginning with the incessant flashbacks and never got me back. Fallout was the real ending. 100%.
It felt significantly longer than 2 hours and 49 minutes. If you only thought it felt like that, you got off lightly.
Kept fucking going forever and ever. Donlo is the best character. Hilarious. Oh, that'd be the guy from Mission Impossible 1. He was fun. Interesting fact, Cruz is 5 years older in this film than Voight was in the first one. Yeah, it's fun. He's older than Gandalf in Fellowship, right? That's a lot of people point out.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Mauler, Rags, Fringy, Little Platoon, and Random Film Talk. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to explain why Mission Impossible Final Reckoning sucks. And we did, in 7 hours, yes. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Nice and quick. Deltarune in 2 weeks. Cover it, you massives. Deltarune.
I think it's a game.
Undertale thing, right?
Undertale. Right.
Oh. I just never got into Undertale, I'm sorry. Any of you guys did?
No, I've heard really good stuff, but I don't know it. I don't know anything about it, really. Never played it.
What a juxtaposition going from Arcane Season 2 coverage and the Andor Season 2 coverage. Thank God for Andor, but man, Arcane was a tragedy. Keep Andor safe. Well,
yeah.
Now that we're through all of those Season 2s, we know what the deal was. We weren't there when it got made, but apparently it was to save Andor, you have to kill all of these others, which...
Pretty much.
And then they said, when we were walking out of the room once the deal was made, it's like, we'll give you Smiling Friends Season 2 as well. And we were like, thank you. Not that that's a surprise. We always knew that was.
Arcane is the worst, though, of everything that we've covered. Yeah, in terms of a fall from grace, in terms of a decline in quality, Arcane 2 is the worst.
Oh, it's worth pointing out, The Last of Us Season 2 was abysmally awful. It's wrapped
up. Oh, really?
I
mean, that's expected, though, isn't it, really?
Yeah, pretty much. A lot of the bad comes from adapting the game faithfully, so there you go. It's just like, well, that's kind of funny. That's
why did they do that?
The opposite of Smiling Friends. We kind of knew that was just going to happen. So that's like a sacrifice that was just on the table.
The problem is that, again, the perception... It is this really weird disconnect, because, again, if you only went by the conventional mainstream sources of, like, perspectives on video games, The Last of Us Season 2 is, like, a triumph, basically. That's essentially the perspective, like... Yet that's not the perspective of, like, a lot of fucking people. You know, a lot of people hated it, and it feels like maybe that carried over there. It's like, yeah, no, Last of Us 2 is good. It's just those dumb retards, they didn't understand it, you know? And then it gets adapted to the show audience that has a similar reaction of like, wow, this sucks. And at that point, now what are you gonna do? Now it's like, oh, it's been repeated again for a new audience that they don't like what you've done either.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Congratulations, you did it.
Yay.
I mean, it was utterly predictable, but hey, you know?
I mean, everyone was worried that this would happen. Everyone knew it except you guys, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Getting harder and harder to justify going to the theaters these days. Was any of the Mission Impossibles after Fallout worth going to the theater for? Oh, sweet crispy critters. Well, if you ask us, no. But to be fair, there's only 2. It's not like it's been a huge, you know... I say, it's still bad that there's 2. But you know what I mean. Like,
yeah,
Fallout is the way better ending. Dead Reckoning and Final Reckoning as a pair are absolute garbage. And whatever, it's the way it is. Mission Impossible, we need retconning. Until that movie comes out, though, you dumbos can play DDLC, so do it.
We just might.
That sounds like an impossible mission. Hello, future EFAP. Have Rags and Ploots finished Gollum yet?
Not yet. I should have a couple done this week, actually.
Hopefully by the time this recording comes out, yes.
That'll be the last ones I need.
Thank you, Mola, Rags, Fringy, and all EFAP. Y'all's give me the juice to start a YouTube channel. We are good juice providers, I would say. That's one of our primary
I'm
things.
glad you enjoy our juice, our delicious juice.
Our juice is
Hopefully
so
we will
good.
have so much juice to provide in the future.
We give really good juice, and it causes juice to generate in other people, so that's pretty cool. That's worthy of a Guinness World Book Records or something. Starting out with easy, fun stuff, but once I learn the gig, I've got some shiz you'll like. P.S. Rags, you have my brother's voice.
Interesting. He cannot have it back.
Whenever the Amazon Warhammer show comes out, you should get Mandalore Gaming for the EFAP. Indigo Gaming should also get you... Oh, you can... and Indigo Gaming get you in contact. Amazon Warhammer show... the thing... I know so little about Warhammer, it would feel a bit weird. But, maybe. I don't know if we'll cover that.
When is it coming? Is it next? Is that even impending?
I don't think it's even in production yet, right? Like, it's just something that's, like, happening at some point.
Mission Call It Impossible. They really took it to an extreme with that shit, man. I think if you'd said to him on set with the swimming, the ocean part, he said, like, that dude, that's impossible, he'd, like, smile. Like, no, I mean impossible, like actually impossible. There's no possible way you could do it. And he just smiles again. You're like, oh, okay. Tom Cruise has told me.
It just goes to Whose Line Is It Anyway, which was a comedy improv show that had a few different runs. There was a UK version, some US versions. They had a spoof game that they'd play called Improbable Mission, and that's kind of what it was supposed to be. It's just improbable, very improbable. Extremely difficult mission, not actually impossible.
Oh well, yeah. What's with Shea Wiggum using airsoft pistols? In MI7, you can see the air valve when he push checks the gun, and in MI8, you can see the inner barrel when he hands it to Ethan. Back me up here, Rags.
Definitely.
I guess the prop guns were shitty. All we can assume with that one. If Tom Cruise... Oh, wait, I read that one. Oh, no, wait. If Tom Cruise has taught me anything, it's that you can run away from your problems. Apparently, he can outrun his gay thoughts. How about that? Cyberspace...
catch me, gay thoughts.
Cyberspace is moving? Can Ethan and the gang beat Hacker, the entity, at his game? I guess they can. And did. What a great story that was. Michael Bay's Skibidi Toilet Cinematic Universe is in production as of this week. Why are we here? Is it just to suffer? Isn't that just a meme that got out of hand? Because even he addressed that, like, I'm not making a Skibidi Toilet movie. Why are people saying this? It's just like, yeah, why not? I think it's because of the fact that it's believable that that's a depressing thought.
Like something that could happen.
Yeah. Remember, guys, let's not retcon history saying MI4 and 5 are bad. They're still good even if they have a few flaws. The positives outweigh the negatives. I'm surprised you didn't include 3 in there. Loads of people like to say 3 is, like, really good, but it's not. I like 6 more than 5, more than 4, more than 3. I think that's what we even said, right? Was the case. And then 1 is really good. It's the runner-up to Fallout. And then, 7 and 8 are the awful ones, and 2 is obviously The Ugly Duckling. It's weird. Really weird film. But you get John Woo in there, right? That's what everyone says. That's fun.
What a movie.
What a movie. Hello, love you, bye. All right, bye. Please call him New Luther. Okay.
Luther?
Why is he New Luther? Same Luther? Good. Mission Impossible 1 is the last Jedi of the series. John Voight's character, Jim Phelps, was a character from the original series they made into a lame, I think they mean, twist villain. Different continuity, though.
Yeah.
Not quite the same as TLJ. You know, if they adapted Star Wars as a concept into a new continuity and Luke Skywalker became the Emperor or something, there's a way to do that that would be really interesting and not, you know, a complete betrayal, but at the same time, I completely understand fans of the Source being pissed off with that. I get it. And apparently that was their attempt to fix it, was to create 2 Jim Phelps in the final one. Be like, see, I'm the good one, he was the bad one. So fucking weird. I will not be watching this trash.
Isn't confusing in any way.
Yeah. I will not be watching this trash file all, but hearing the word cyberspace so many times reminded me. Have any of the crew read Neuromancer? Hi, Rags.
I have not, but I know I need to. In fact, I may even
Yeah.
have started it once, but I never got very
I think I
far.
might have started it once too. Yeah, because that's one of those sort of foundational ones for Cyberpunk.
Can someone explain what the in-story reason was for the second biplane? Why was it taking off at the same time as Gabriel in story reason? He said he brought one as
He just
backup.
did spare, yeah.
Just in case.
And it just, he's a smart villain. It turns out that actually the spare fucked him over.
Yeah.
Which isn't typically what spares are about.
I still can't believe how subtly they threw that in. It's just, I've got a biplane. And also, I have another one, just in case I need it. Yeah.
And just everyone immediately was like, oh, right, Ethan's. Good. We can get that scene. The entity must be a large language model. Those actually get basic math problems wrong and invent false information all the time. It's a retard, is the only conclusion you could make, despite the fact that the films, both of them, tell you over and over again it's like an unstoppable, hyper-intelligent god machine thing that can't be stopped. And it's just like, but it easily could, so rip that. By an invention, 2 inventions that Luther just makes while dying of cancer or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so good. The story is just so good. $5 towards a new mic for Fringy to bring his volume up to everyone else's. Also, hi Rag.
Hello. You shouldn't need a new mic for that. You can just use that with the settings.
Well, he's
right.
I mean, he's balanced with the rest of us. I don't know what you mean.
Yeah.
Obviously, like when we do the initial like 10 minutes of an episode, I usually just look at OBS and see where the average, you know, speech is. I'm trying to get everyone into yellow. It goes green, yellow, red. So, if I can, you know, and then I just pay attention to chat, see if they say something's out of whack. But Fringy is.
Oh, they'll let us know.
Yes, indeed, and they should, because getting audio right is super important. It would be so much more interesting if we got a... Oh, by the way, fucking StreamYards. All the boomers use it. It has no custom audio control on your end. Like, only for the host, I think?
No, there is one. You can go in, but it's like you have to go into audio settings. It's underneath your microphone, and so there's an auto adjust button. You can turn it off, and then there's a slider which will allow you to change your own volume.
I'm talking about if I want to change. Say, for example, we go on an episode and Fringy's super loud and Rag's super quiet, and you're like in the middle. I can't change them myself. I have to hope the host does, and even if the host does, it might not fix it on my end. If you know what I mean.
Okay.
Which I find infuriating, because right now I could have all of you at percentages that all match good on my end, and you guys might all have different percentages on your end, because it needs to match the sound systems you have, which I think is exactly how it should always work with every piece of software. But for some reason, StreamYards is still not caught up to this notion yet, so woohoo. I hate it, is my point, okay?
StreamYards needs to have their Final Reckoning Part 1.
Yes.
So that the super AI can give them the algorithm to predict the things that people want them to do, and then they do them.
It would be so much more interesting if we got a movie with a bad guy as the main character trying to destroy the world with heroic side characters. It's called Infinity War. Already did that. Unless you want it to be a Mission Impossible movie.
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible, but for the bad guy. They're doing something real hard. That could work.
Oh, yeah, but... Oh, what would we call it? I don't know. What would you call it?
I do not know what I would call it.
All right, then. I don't either. Maybe it'll come to us later.
Mm-hmm. If I can't hijack an aircraft carrier in GTA 6, I don't want it.
You might not be able to.
Hold
I
out
don't
hope,
think
I
it's been a
guess.
thing yet, right?
Maybe it was in GTA Online or something. I don't know.
You could buy your shark cards and you can drive your aircraft carrier into Iron Man or whatever they have.
Luther telling Ilsa Ethan loves her only to die. I know. Don't rewatch Fallout if you want fucking Dead Reckoning and Final Reckoning to be canon. It's just painful. Because all the storytelling from Fallout is clearly just swept aside for their new ideas, because Ilsa's not a part of the story anymore. Bye-bye. Hassan should be the next Mission Impossible villain. Ethan? Mission Impossible debate retcon and get your nuggies now or die. Also, hi Rags, Rando, LP,
Hello.
and others. Hello. I still find Joshua from Wargames explores the militarized AI question with more insight and nuance than most films. Can we get them library cards? You saying can we get AI library cards? I don't think they need them.
A library card, I mean, those are pretty analog, you know?
They sure are.
Like a card, right? Unless you wanted like a I guess everything gets digitalized as time goes on. So what was once a library card that you just handed to some old lady who told you to go shh whenever you made too much noise. I guess now it's just a robot lady.
Damn robot.
And you give her your login credentials.
The bubbly screen transition reminded me of SpongeBob. I was laughing so hard in the theater. Yeah, it was funny as fuck. It's so weird because it's the only time in the whole movie they do it. I just
I
don't
was
get
about
it.
to say it's out of place.
5 balls at the edge of a wong. Good reference. They should just hire the lock-picking lawyer. That guy can break into any lock. Yeah, that would have sorted it out. Could have gotten right to the Podkova. But out that way. What a shame. In 2023, the U.S. Navy caught and court-martialed some non-coms for installing an unauthorized Starlink dish on a Navy ship. Wi-Fi name was Stinky.
Oh, I read about that. Yeah, they wanted to watch Netflix.
Oh, well, guess that didn't work out for him, huh? I just got back from taking my 20-year-old cat to vet to put it down. Thank you for making me smile and laugh right now. I'm sorry, man.
Oh, you bet. That's 20 years old. You had that cat a long
A
time.
long life. That's
Yeah.
a
That's a
long life.
long-lived cat.
Yeah.
Very good age for a cat. I've only known one cat live longer, and that's because it's my friend's cat, and her parents are NHS consultants, and they gave it human diabetes medicine, and they kept it alive until it was 25.
Damn.
Wow.
They were on St. Matthew Island. Is only southern edge of the island accessible by boat, and the northern edge part of the ice sheet? I've no clue. I can't help you with that one. Maybe he died. The rest of the movie's his dream as his lungs and head exploded. See, I'd be okay with a thing like that, but we'd need to draw it further back to the point of covering both Reckoning movies, you know? It's a super boat, Noah. He must have had a super boat.
Your super ears.
What are your thoughts on Lucy, 2014, starring Scarlett Johansson? She turns into a USB stick at the end of the movie. Anyway. Yeah, I've seen it. It's insane.
Oh, yes, but that was part of the era of, hey, you only use 10% of your brain, which is like, isn't it one of those things where it's like, but that's obviously not true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have a feeling if I lost 90% of my brain, I'd be at a disadvantage.
It seems highly unlikely that an organ that is as expensive as a human brain in terms of like the amount of energy that it requires could have like 90% of it be fucking not used.
Have you
Like,
seen the
there's no
Minecraft
way-
movie?
Well, yeah, that's a fair point. I hadn't considered that.
Here you go.
But I mean, yeah, there was that. There was the one with Bradley Cooper. What was that one called? Limitless or something?
Yeah.
Limitless.
Yeah. Like, yeah, no, this is more than 10%. It's like, all right, Jesus Christ.
Rags, what do you think of Alphonse Fortnite?
I don't know anything about that. If that's a person, then we haven't met.
Oh, all right then.
Unless it's a unit of time, like you have a fortnight, which I think is like 40 days, right? Isn't that how long a fortnight is?
Fortnite
40
is
days?
2 weeks. Yeah.
2 weeks. 40, 14. That's probably what I was thinking. But then you have Alphon's fortnight, and maybe he's like 16 days, and then breakfast.
That could make sense.
But I don't know. Like I said, we've never met. We have not exchanged emails or anything really.
All right then. Are we multiverse of madness levels of bad? We haven't broken space time, just all technology, characters, and the entire world. Just wanted to check. Yeah. I mean, Final Reckoning was hideously awful. We did say. Did we conclude it was the worst of the Mission Impossibles?
Yeah,
I
so.
think so.
Mhm.
I think we had a little bit of a debate before we had finished, but I think by the end we had settled it was worse.
The box office of Snow White is insignificant compared to the power of Disney. Darth Fring, 2025.
It's unfortunate.
I
but
mean,
true.
yeah, it doesn't matter. Basically,
Mhm.
yeah, like it's flopped, but Lilo and Stitch will make more than enough money to compensate for that.
Choosing to believe Denlinger is Lynn Denlin's cousin. No, it's just Lynn Denlin. That's what happened to her. And then she got killed twice because she was on. When was Saw 3 was that 2003?
I think it was 2005,
And Mission Impossible 3 was
2006.
so she got shot in the head, got surgery to fix it,
Fix
and
her
then
head because you only use 10% of your brain, so
Yeah.
it actually is not.
she just
She was going to be fine. It was mostly just cosmetic.
it
work
would have been
getting done.
extremely unlucky for her to have died, because it'd be like, oh wow, it hit the 10% was wiped out. That sucks. So yeah, she got home and she married that guy, and she started having to do surgery for Jigsaw, and then she got her head exploded, which, to be fair, that would take out the 10%. So yeah,
I think. Yeah.
all of that makes sense. So I don't know why anyone's having trouble with that. Like, oh, it's a relative. Like, no, obviously her makes more sense for it. Why wouldn't other countries assume the U.S. nuked themselves on accident? Sacrifice Salt Lake City wouldn't do anything for other countries. I can't even
It's
begin.
insane.
The whole thing
None
is
of our
insane.
allies would want us to do that anyway.
No,
Like that's like actually insane.
If there was any communication between, let's just take Britain and America, and it's agreed upon that the entity is about to launch all nukes on all of the planet, and America suggests we can nuke all the nuke sites before the entity does that, which, by the way, we've gone over how stupid that is, but let's just ignore that for a second and say that's the plan. What that's the understanding that Britain would have to have, and the other countries. They wouldn't then be like, okay, America, sure, but please blow up one of your own cities. Like, but no.
Just as a token gesture, it's a nice thing to do.
Insanity.
As a sign of good faith.
A gesture.
It's not a good faith. Sacrifice millions of people's lives so that other countries maybe don't
Feel
hate
better.
you as much.
Yeah, like what? Oh, such a good ride. So our villain is going to smash his balls and skull in that order. This is our final movie. It all ends here. Nukes and balls and wieners. Sure. It was a bold choice, but they did it. And high rags.
Hello.
I demand a Bluey breakdown and review.
We're not
yeah,
autistic.
probably not going to happen. I understand why you'd want one. Bluey's a
Fringy
cool
would have
guy.
to lead it because it's Australian.
True.
I haven't seen it either, so like I assume all
So
of
we're
us
all
are
in-
equally.
Yeah, so
Unaware
we're all
of it.
equally unaware of it, but you're Australian, so
It's a little bit racist.
it is an
okay,
it is an export of I
Well,
mean,
the idea
you know
that
me,
I
but-
got to be your guide through all of the Australian sort of
yeah, this is your people's great
aspects of
export
it.
to the world.
I mean, it kind of yeah.
Everyone
it is.
loves Bluey.
It is actually like one of Australia's most successful exports.
Yeah, everyone knows Bluey. I know the Bluey characters.
You
I
know
can't put
Bluey,
names
you're
to
American.
faces, but yeah.
Well,
that's
you
right.
know, there's Bluey and there's Bandit, right?
Mad Max.
And
Yeah.
I think I that's all I know.
That's actually all I know.
Bandit's the dad, right?
I
This is what I
don't.
mean. I
Bluey
don't know
is
anything
the
about Bluey at
main
all.
character, I would
Bluey
assume.
is the main character, yeah, but I thought Bandit is the because the dad is like often cited as being one of the favorites in the show, right?
From the clips I've seen,
Yeah.
I can believe it. Because every once in a while on Twitter or something, they'll be like, oh, they'll post a scene or whatever, it's funny or whatnot. Is Bluey a boy or a girl?
Bluey's a girl.
Because Blue from Blue's Clues is also a girl. But there's also what's Blue's pink friend? Magenta. Oh, we've talked about Magenta before. Magenta's a girl as well, but Blue is a girl. And Blue, normally if you have a blue dog and a pink dog in a kid's show, it's like, oh, the blue one's the boy and the pink one's the girl. But Steve was a boy. He still, I don't say that, he still is, I assume.
Steve.
I guess you don't know these days, but he was.
Well, I think because Bluey is because of Blue Healer. That's why. But Blue Healers aren't like blue, not like that. But I guess that was the thing. It's like, oh yeah, Bluey, yeah, that'll work. And they were right. It did work. Look at how much.
Blue healers are great.
how
Yeah, I really like
successful it
them.
is.
I guess they're called blue because they're just depressed.
They're not depressed
Or
though.
they're
like,
just
very energetic.
melancholy.
They're cattle dogs. They're very energetic. They're like hyper. They're like the kinds of they're the dogs that need like tasks and things to do and need to basically like expend a lot of energy.
All right then.
I don't need to expend something, but I kind of do. I'll be right back. I would just take me a second.
See, he needs to poop. That's what he
Ew.
was trying to say.
Disgusting
Right.
human activities. Gross.
Well, and dogs do that too.
But he's human.
Is he?
Well, while he's not here, we can say that. I personally, I've not met a dog that can talk. I think he's lying to us. You're not saying anything, kid. Hello?
No. No, just waiting for the next question.
I can't, because both of them require him to be here, and there's
right.
only two left.
Okay, I see. Yeah, no, the Blue Healer, it's a good old Australian dog like the Kelpie, another Australian one. Though I think at this point, you know, as with basically all dogs, you can get them pretty much anywhere in the world.
Neat. Dogs are neat.
They are, yeah. No, I mean, you know, they're a cool dog.
Apparently there's a Starship Troopers strategy game. I think it could be fun.
Yeah,
I'm back.
that does seem like it could be.
All right.
I agree.
We have a Warhammer model of the Whenever, the beast boss on Squigosaur of the Orc armies, a big, angry, green boy on a bigger, angry, red boy. Look at him go. Hi, Rags.
The Beast Boy on Squigsaur of the Orc army.
He is.
Look at that Squigsaur. He lost a leg and then they gave him a robot leg.
That was nice of him.
Did he used to have arms and then they just detached them, or?
Kind of looks like that could have happened, or if he maybe he just didn't ever have them. It's unclear.
Maybe.
Well,
I mean, I like the model. It's very well painted. I like the design. It seems appropriately like if the orc people had a steed, a war steed, what would it be? And I'd be like, oh yeah, like a little stumpy T-Rex would be. Yeah, I can believe how. Yeah, I can follow that.
and our extinct animal of the day, the Borophagus. I assume that's how it's pronounced. The Bone Eater. And this is
The
what he looks
Borophagus.
like.
Oh, he's
Oh,
like a
wow.
bear Wolverine.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like we probably lose in a
Right.
fight to him.
probably.
What about
But if there
100
are
of us?
I think 100 of us could get him.
Just
Yep,
about.
I think we could.
Man, imagine he gets through the first 50 and he's like, oh, you know, and then there's another 50, like, all right, let's go, boys. And they run in. He's like, oh, fuck's sake. Humans, you know, annoying. Isn't it one of our, like, big ways of defeating a lot of animals was endurance? Like, we would just keep following them until they're exhausted.
Yeah, Humans
Yes.
have like
are-
insane endurance compared to the average critter.
Oh yeah, we're one of the, if not the like best long distance travelers, runners out there. We got sweat. I say we. I'm just trying to, if I could break,
Mm.
but the just humans have a. I think it's basically unique, the sweat system that we have to cool our bodies, and just the way that our muscles and our skeletal system kind of works. You see, we're often portrayed as being kind of like the generalists of the animal kingdom because we can kind of do a bit of everything. But there are some things that we excel at, and long distance running is one of those things.
Neat. Look at us go. There's a few
Look at
other
us
things we were
go.
pretty cool at too, like the whole tools thing. Animals are very jealous on that one. Like, couldn't I do that? I'm like, we could teach you, but you wouldn't learn. So
Really?
what's the point? We're mean as a species. Anyway, that is the final question. Thank you so much
Oh,
for sending them in. Oh wait, sorry, there's 2 more. I didn't realize. My bad. We're on a different page. Watch Kenobi Season 2 is just him going on dangerous adventures with Bix. Oh, messages that... I mean... Wait. Oh, you mean if they made a Kenobi Season 2, they could just drop Bix into it? Yeah. I mean, everyone's
that's
concerned they're going to do plenty with Andor's now very enjoyed characters with the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah.
I think this came up on one of the Andor streams. So you just know Filoni will bring one of them back, and they'll be completely dumb and ruined in the way that Mon Mothma was. Funnily enough, he'll do it again.
God. At least that was a character that didn't originate from Andor. But for some reason, it feels it's awful that she's reduced to such awful writing. But I don't know. For me, imagine they just fucking dragged in, any of the originals that haven't yet. It's like, Tony, you should have killed them all so that he
Yeah.
couldn't do this. You fool. But it's too bad. Anyway, do you guys think that Vel in Andor told him to reconnect with Bix because she knew she was pregnant? Just watch that scene and that's the vibe I get. Seems like there's been contact, or they have contact with Bix. Not sure.
Perhaps, yeah.
Definitely a potential that she could have found out. Or even that she was told. But on that note, that's the final message. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And, well, rip Mission Impossible.
Yep.
On that note.
Ripperoonie.
Bye-bye, everybody.
See you later,
Bye.
everybody.
Yeah, we'll see you later.
Bye.